May was a regular 28-year-old woman who thought she was experiencing normal ovarian function and menstrual pain. In reality, May had endometriosis, a disease where the tissue that behaves like the lining of a womb is found in other parts of the body, causing excruciating pain, discomfort, and irregularly heavy and long periods. According to BBC UK, in December 2019, this disease affects 1 in 10 women, which means that while her symptoms were common, they were definitely not normal. May's doctors, however, would not take her pain seriously, ultimately forcing her to find a private facility where she begged for a hysterectomy. May now lives with the haunting memories of being invalidated by medical professionals and the shame of knowing that she'll never be able to carry or bear her own children. Sadly, May is not the only woman to have to experience this. Women all over the world are being told what they're allowed to feel within their own bodies. According to a Georgetown Law article on January 27, 2021, 18 states have extreme restrictions and laws on women's reproductive rights, including hysterectomies and abortion. Today, I am going to persuade the audience that the federal government should take action to remove all restrictions and bans in place, which makes women's rights to their reproductive health inferior to that of their male counterparts. By first exploring problems associated with restrictions, secondly, discussing causes behind these problems, and lastly, discovering solutions. The problems lie on 3 main levels. 1, women don't have final say over their bodies. 2, restrictions and bans on abortion lead to tragedy that causes lifelong damage. And 3, women of color are being forcefully sterilized without any explanation. According to the Chicago Tribune, on December 7, 2019, men can legally receive a vasectomy at the ripe young age of 18, while their female counterparts would be denied a hysterectomy and told that the surgery is too invasive and that they should wait until they're older to commit. Since 2011, state legislatures have passed over 400 restrictive abortion bans, with the 20-week ban being the most common. According to American Progress, on August 27, 2020, this is a gestational ban that stops allowing abortions once a woman has passed her 20th week in pregnancy. This means that a pregnancy that may need to be ended past the 20th week due to a medical concern may not be able to be terminated, forcing the woman to birth a stillborn child or to go through the tragedy of miscarrying naturally, which can be painful and traumatic. While some women are having their reproductive requests denied, low-income women of color are being sterilized by force all across the country. According to The Intercept, on September 17, 2020, 32 states maintained a federally funded board that was tasked with ordering the sterilization of women who were deemed undesirable, including Black, Indigenous, and Hispanic women. Now that I've explained the problems, we're going to discuss the causes behind the problems. The causes lie on 3 main levels: the patriarchy, religion, and capitalism. The patriarchal power over women's reproductive choices has been a long-standing issue in the United States. According to an article in The Guardian on May 14, 2019, 25 white Republican males voted yes on a law that mandates an almost blanket ban on abortion. This law has since become the strictest abortion ban in our country. In 2017, the Trump administration expanded religious accommodations to overturn a mandate so that employers and universities could deny women contraceptive coverage based on religious beliefs, according to the Planned Parenthood website. The oppression of women has existed long before our capitalistic society has come about. However, the latter has created a wider range of oppression for women today. According to CADT on May 28, 2020, capitalism aids in the oppression of women by denying hysterectomies and ensuring women stay home with their children. Companies are able to save money by not having to hire or pay them. Now that we've discussed the causes of these problems, let's discover some solutions. The solutions lie on 2 main levels: government and individual. On a federal level, we need to strengthen the laws that are already in place to protect women's rights to have an abortion. While Roe v. Wade affirmed access to a safe and legal abortion as a constitutional right, the language isn't strong enough, allowing states to find loopholes for restrictions and bans. On an individual level, we need to sign petitions, volunteer at clinics, and advocate for ourselves. Advocate for our mothers, for our sisters, and our wives. Today, I persuaded the audience that women should receive equal rights to their reproductive health by first discussing problems associated with restrictions on women's reproductive bans, second, discussing the causes behind the problems, and lastly, discovering solutions. Remember when we discussed May and all the pain and suffering she had at the hands of her doctors? Unfortunately, these types of cases are not isolated, and they often end in tragedy, but they don't have to. Write to your congressmen, write to your governors, and write to your health officials. Protest these bans. Make your voices heard. Women deserve fair and equal treatment. This has been a public service announcement.